Hello, welcome to another video. My name is Macy. This is going to be so heavy to lift up. I don't even know why I'm attempting to do this. Maybe if I balance it on my knee. I have a little growing collection of non-fiction books that I haven't read. We didn't drop any, that was a miracle. I see this little pile in the corner of my office and I just think, oh, I want to read all of those. I've just been really in a reading slump recently and I feel like it's always like ebbs and flows, you know. Recently I just have not been reading and I need to sort it out. So this week I'm going to be on a non-fiction focus, reading only non-fiction for the week, getting in my reading hours, documenting it in this video, and also like implementing the tips and tricks that I learned from the books in my everyday life, because that's one thing we all do, right, is like read a book then just completely forget everything we learn and not like actually take action on the steps in the book. I have a Notion page with everything I've learned from podcasts, articles, books, audiobooks. It all goes on there. Sorry. Now, I'm in a bit of a pickle of where to start. I still haven't finished this Diver CEO book. You know, it's not that I'm not enjoying it. I think there's just so much information that it feels like I'm studying and like working when I read it. So The Psychology of Money has obviously been like a huge book that people talk about all the time. I would really actually like to read this. Also from this pile, I really want to read Simon Squibb's book because I love him, I love what he does. Oh, it's like the perfect, cozy, raining reading day. I've got so much to do today though, so it'll probably be this evening. Hey! Oh, it feels so nice to get into bed. Oh my god, why do Pokemon cards smell so good? I got some Pokemon cards the other day and I keep my... so embarrassing. I keep my folder by my bed, so oh, they smell so nice. Nice evening read tonight. It's 10 o'clock, it's 10:15. I'm gonna read some of this. I also have my laptop, so I'm gonna be taking notes. Excuse my awful appearance. I just Law 21. I look like an old lady propped up in bed. And it was all about how you should outfail your competition, and to increase your success rate you should double your failure rate. It's really inspired me to log like how many attempts at success, concluding in failures, I'm doing every month. Yeah, it's really good. Trouble with reading non-fiction before bed is that you get like really inspired and motivated by it and then you just have to go to sleep. I'm gonna go to bed now. I'll see you tomorrow. It is Thursday. I didn't film anything yesterday because I've had just a super fun... I'll talk about it at some point, but this afternoon I'm finishing this book and we're going to talk about it. I'm going to go and make a cup of tea and we're going to finish this book and we're going to start our new book. It's a little bit hot. Nice. That's a good cup of tea. Also, I'm still getting over this bloody illness, cold, flu thing that I feel like I've had for ages now. I'm so sick of it. Let's read. Cue the little reading time lapse. Go. Hey! I've just finished this book. Let me just gather my thoughts for a second. So it's split up into 3 pillars. The last pillar was about building a team and like company culture and stuff like that. I'm not planning on employing anybody anytime soon, so that section was less interesting to me. I love how it fully incorporates everything he's learned from doing the podcast and that specific guests he's had on there, and there's just a huge breadth of really useful life and business knowledge that I just keep thinking about, like, wow, I actually need to implement this. Let me have a look at my notes and just talk about kind of a few things which have stood out for me. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, what's going on? Is this necessary? Okay, it's the last one. One thing I really love is his discipline equation. So I've actually heard this from him before. I don't know what it would have been in, maybe like an interview he did on somebody else's podcast. But it's about how discipline is the perceived value of achieving a goal plus the reward of the pursuit minus the cost of the pursuit. And it kind of made me think about how I've stopped ballet. So I put ballet into the discipline equation. So yeah, you've got the perceived value plus the reward of doing ballet. So it'd just be kind of my personal enjoyment and feeling good about myself and doing something that I love to do. And also exercise, I guess, and health. But the cost of the pursuit has outweighed that, and therefore I haven't got much discipline to do it. So the cost being feeling anxious in my body, and also the monetary cost. Classes were getting quite expensive, the class being quite far away, it being on an evening which I'm working in the day, so it's quite a lot to do in one day. So yeah, the cost kind of meant that I didn't have the discipline to continue with classes. And so you can put anything into this equation, and it's really interesting just to think about your goals and get really clear about them using that equation. I don't know. Also, another thing which is in the same law, so this is law 27, the discipline equation, death, time and discipline. And this is another thing I've heard him talk about before, but it was time betting. You get given a chip for every hour in your life. How are you going to place these chips on like a betting roulette wheel thing? So for example, you might place some chips watching Netflix or going to the gym. Placing chips is the one thing in life we can control. If you allocate some of your chips to activities to improve your health, you may be handed a few more chips. The game ends when you run out of chips, and once the game is over, you don't get to keep anything you've won anyway. So therefore, be conscious of what prizes you bet your chips trying to win. It just really made me think about how many chips I'm wasting on social media and laziness, and how many chips am I using to actually work towards my dreams and my goals. And I just really liked how he talked about mortality in that chapter. There's so many gems in this book. Now I've finished Diary of a CEO, I can start the Psychology of Money, which I'm very excited to start. Also, ignore my spiky hair. Come in. Come closer. I need to do a bit of housework right now, so I'm going to be switching to an audiobook. The one I am listening to at the moment is The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks. I remember really liking this book, and then I just haven't touched it in like 3 months. So let's go. I'm also so hungry. Oh my gosh, it's 6:30.
So does your financial abundance, the love you feel, and
Hey! Excuse the no makeup state, I've literally just woken up. There is some bad skin stuff going on, so just... Okay. Last night I read the introduction to the Psychology of Money, and I'm literally just starting the first chapter. No one's crazy. I swear, like, the smell of a book can already get you out of a reading slump. I'll keep you guys in the loop. I am going to pop into the city now because I've got some errands to run, and I'm going to listen to The Big Leap on my headphones. I've just been filming some content this morning. I really liked that first chapter of Psychology of Money. I thought it was a really good opening to the book. And yeah, it just spoke about how everyone has a different idea around money, and their money beliefs are different because of the way they've grown up, when they were born, and loads of different factors. I feel like, sorry, I've got a bit chilly. I feel like I've been quite productive today, and I honestly think it is just the hype of reading like self-help books. I know that sounds super cringy, but so the one thing that The Big Leap was talking about, which I was listening to when I went into town, was about how we should all be working in our zone of genius. And he talks about how we each have like a zone that we're destined to work in, and that we can get the greatest things done in that zone. And also he talks about like an upper limit problem. When things feel too good, we like self-sabotage. So I'm not going to be staying at home over the weekend, so I think today is going to be like the last day I'm going to be filming, so sorry, because I feel like I've skipped out so much time. Reading every day this week, especially like non-fiction, has really just got me into a good headspace. Like I feel like I've been on my habits, I've been wanting to keep the home clean, thinking about my business in a completely different way. It's nice and refreshing to feel like that when I've felt so stagnant for like quite a few months now. I'm in like a weird stage where I'm figuring a lot of things out. I'm figuring out what I want to do with my life, where I want to go, and what I want my career to look like in the future. And so I feel like there's a lot of change coming, which is really scary but also really exciting. Excuse my appearance again. I just finished the second chapter, which was called Luck and Risk. It was very interesting. So the only thing I'm like slightly struggling with at the moment is the amount of names. Like there's a lot of names being thrown about and a lot of case studies, which is sometimes a bit overwhelming. Like I would rather have more chat than like, here's another case study, here's a different case study, here's a different person, you know? It's quite a lot. Anyway, there was a quote in this chapter that said, "Be careful who you praise and admire, be careful who you look down upon and wish to avoid becoming." And then I put, "Not all success is due to hard work, there is luck and risk in everything." I'm now going to edit this video and go to bed. I hope this inspires you to pick up a self-help book, because I've honestly had a really good week. I think it's really like positively impacted my brain. Sometimes non-fiction books get a lot of hate, but I honestly think they're so incredible. Like somebody has put a lifetime of work into something that you can buy for like 10 to 20 pounds. Like that's insane. Thank you so much for watching and have a good week.